Section 8.6, determining APR. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we can shop around for rates that are similar when other things about the loans are different, like if there's a different time period or if there's a different interest rate. How do we know which one is going to be the better deal without doing too much work? We're going to use a table in the back, A8, 8, 9. Why should you compare the cost related to different loans? The cost can include fees like prepayment penalties. There's lots of different little fees and stuff that go in there too. So shop around for the best APR, which means the lowest one. Then you'll pay the least cost and the least amount of things. So Paul got a $1,500 installment loan to buy a racing bike. The finance charge is $146.25. He will repay the loan in 18 monthly payments. What is the APR? So here's the formula that we're going to use. $100, because that's kind of the table that we're using, has something to do with 100 at the top. That's in the formula. So we're going to go 100. The finance charge is $146.25. So I'm just following that little formula that I have in blue, and we're going to divide it by the amount financed, which was $1,500. So here, super easy to put them in there because there's really only two numbers you need to look at, and there's really only two amounts that you have. You just have to get them in the right place. The 18 comes in when we actually look at the table and grab our number from there. So I'm going to calculate this first. 100 times 146.25 divided by 1,500. So I get 9.75. You have to show this part even though we're going to look on the table and we might be looking for something else. So look at your table. You're going to start looking at the 18 monthly payment section. And if you look at the very first one on A8, you go across and there is nothing close to $9.75. So let's skip up to the next group. 18 goes from $360 all the way to $543. Nothing close to 9 anything anywhere. Go to the next one. 18 there gives you $563 all the way to $748. You're going to keep looking at each section until you find the 9s. Okay, so the next section is 7s. We just get to the 9s, but it's only $9.56. So flip it over to the next page. You're going to look at 18. And notice how the first one is $9.77. That is the closest one to $9.75 that we can get. So on the top of A9, you look for 18, you go right directly next to it, and it says $9.77. That's the closest one. Okay, so I'm going to write that here so you know that you can do close. Closest table value, is $9.77. Directly above that is your APR, which is 12%. Okay, so the APR that we're looking for there is 12%. You don't have to tell me that the closest table value is $9.77. You're just looking for it. Sometimes it will match exactly. Sometimes you got to pick the closest one. So when we're looking at it, $9.56 was the one on this page. $9.56 is not close to $9.75, but $9.77 is. So you look at the two that are next to each other, you're going to pick the closest one. Sometimes you might have to subtract in order to find that. So if you do, go for it. Okay, the second question we're not going to do, but we are going to do one more just so you can kind of hunt it down the table. So let's go ahead and do number 1. So go ahead and take out your homework for today. It's going to be on page 323. This is the assignment that I actually had on the board yesterday, and we are going to skip the formula ones that are in that second part. So none of those will be on the quiz or test that we get. So this is your page 323, number 1. And here's exactly what I want you to show. We have a 6-month loan, $800. The finance charge is $24.64. So in the formula, it says $100 times the finance charge, which is $24.64, divide by the loan amount, which is 800. I'm looking at 308. That's that table value that's going to be in that middle section that we're going to be as close as possible. So we're going to hunt down 6 payments. So it's going to be the very first line in every single section. And we want to go until we get to the 308 numbers. Okay, I'm looking at A8. It's the bottom section. I'm looking at the 6s and I'm going straight across. The first one is 279. Second one, 286. The one that's in the 3s, though, is 301. And then I see the exact amount, which is 308. This one does match, so we don't even have to do anything. I'm going to go table, just so everybody knows what I was looking at that isn't here today. Above that is my percent. So what percent are we looking at? 10.5%. Done. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to write that first line out, and then you can just give me that percent that goes with it. Okay? You do have to have both of them, though, because on the quiz it'll probably be the 2 points. If you pick one that's next to it, you'd probably get half because at least you were in the right realm of it. It's just picking the one that's the closest that kind of counts. That's kind of it today. So there's a big, long formula in example 2, and no doubt we could do those, but I feel like that's not a formula that if you don't use it every day, it's not going to stick in your head longer than today, 20 minutes maybe. So if you know how to use formulas and you use them every day, you're going to know how to do something like that too. So we're just using the more practical things in the book. So we're going to skip 2. So I'm going to go 1 and 3 through 11. And you have to show the same things on every one of them. So you're going to show the formula and you're also going to show the percent. We're not doing the algebra ones today.